Survey myths that are killing your earnings and how to fix them. Surveys can be a solid way to bring in extra income. Over the past decade, I've personally earned more than £50,000 from surveys without relying on any referrals. As that's the case, surveys have become a steady part of my daily routine. And yet the survey space is flooded with myths and flat out misinformation that hold people back. Hey everyone, it's Dan from Sidehustlereliance. On our channel, our aim is to help the online money making community find new and exciting ways to profit using our PCs and our smartphones. Everyone loves the idea of making money online without much effort, and surveys are one of the easiest ways to do that. Over the past 12 months, I've made more than £6,000 from surveys without relying on any referral income. And that's why I'm in a solid position to break down the biggest myths and misconceptions holding people's earnings back. Let's get into it. All surveys are scams. False. Some survey sites are definitely scams. Take Potluck for example. They are known for randomly IP banning you after you complete a survey, so they don't have to pay you. But there are plenty of legit platforms out there like Swagbucks and 5surveys. These two platforms are known for their reliability, so make sure you stick to the trusted sites. Last month alone, I made around £300 from survey sites, and that is brilliant. I was actually out of the country for half the month, so the fact that I could still achieve a decent amount of money from surveys, you can't complain about that. When trying to identify if a survey site is a scam, you need to identify two main things. First off, are these sites asking for too much personal information?
Find out his name, his age, his weight, his social security number, his location.
Or are the sites promising outrageous payouts, like $50 for 10 minutes? It's not real. If you don't know where to start with surveys, I've listed all of my favourites in the description. All of these are legit and they pay out. I will never qualify for surveys. False. Surveys are a numbers game. They're always looking for people with specific demographics, like a parent of a 7-year-old who loves Lego. Your best shot is building a strong survey persona before you even start taking any of them. Sadly, I don't have time to run through the entire persona you need to be running in this video, but I've got a full video linked in the top right where I break down exactly what you need to do to make sure you maximise your qualification chance on surveys. It's definitely worth a watch. Longer surveys always pay more. False. With surveys, pay doesn't scale with time. I've had 5-minute surveys pay more than 40-minute ones. Personally, I do not bother with any surveys that pay less than 50p for 10 minutes of work. That's why sites like 𝐋𝐢𝐬 and 5surveys usually give the best time to reward ratio, with 5surveys paying £1 per survey. Remember, your time is valuable. Focus on the higher value surveys. Every survey pays in cash. False. Sadly, not all surveys pays in cash. Some providers do give you access to a raffle-based system where if you complete a survey you'll get one entry for a chance to win an Amazon voucher. Or there's other providers out there like Free Postcode Lottery who expect you to do surveys for free. Literally, you will not get paid a penny. What you need to do is you need to focus on platforms that actually pays you for cash and gift cards every single time you complete that survey. Don't leave it up to chance. Speeding through surveys means more money. False. On surveys, if you rush through them to completion, there is a high chance that survey will be rejected. That's why you need to make sure you always take your time when completing surveys. I personally use a multi-survey strategy where I try and complete multiple surveys at once to maximise my earnings. This way you can take your time with each survey, and if you do get disqualified, you probably will get a sweet bonus for that. Everyone gets the same surveys. False. Surveys are matched to your demographics, interests, and even your past answers. That's why creating a strong survey persona is essential. Not to mention, each survey provider also has access to different survey routers, so that means the surveys you see will differ depending on the platform you use. This is exactly why you need to sign up for multiple platforms. I personally love using Prime Surveys, Free Cash, Swagbucks, and 5surveys, mainly because they are high in paying and there's a good range of different surveys available. Disqualifications are a waste of time. False. On surveys, disqualifications can be frustrating, but one thing to know is that several platforms will actually pay you when it happens, so make sure you're taking advantage of them where possible. When it comes to these disqualification bonuses, the biggest factor that plays into how much money you will get paid is time. The longer you're on a survey, the more you'll get paid, but you need to make sure you're using these survey providers that will actually pay if you get disqualified. Around 25% of my survey income comes from these disqualification bonuses. If you are curious, I've got a full video in my description that showcases exactly how you can profit from these disqualifications. You'll get unlimited surveys every day. False. Surveys are all about timing. The best hours to complete surveys are on weekdays between 10 AM and 6 PM. I find after 6 PM, surveys do slow down and there's less available. Then weekends are totally dead. If you end up making £5 a day on a weekend, you're doing brilliant because it's so quiet out there. If you are planning on doing surveys out of these key hours, I would suggest you focus on Prolific and 5 surveys, mainly because there's more surveys available on their platforms and they're higher in pay. Surveys are only good for young people. False. So I probably completed around 20 to 25,000 surveys in my lifetime, which sounds a lot. I've seen surveys open to people from their 20s all the way up to their 70s. Age does not play a big factor like people think. It's all about meeting the demographics of that survey. The thing is, if your demographics are in demand, such as being an older individual, you more than likely would get paid more than someone who's readily available. You can quit your job and just live off surveys. False. Surveys are a great way to boost your income, but they'll never replace a full-time salary. For me personally, the most money I've made from surveys was a few years ago, where I managed to make £700 in a single month, which is amazing for extra money, but it's not enough to live on. I personally find surveys are a really good way to support your aims in life. So for me personally, I really want to have a mortgage-free property, so I'm currently putting my survey earnings towards overpaying my mortgage. Surveys are easy money without effort. True. Surveys are simple to complete, but the truth is, you will face rejection about half of the time. That's just part of the game, really. If you master your survey persona though and stick with it, you will come out ahead and you'll earn some sweet cash for your time. Just make sure you prepare yourself for these rejections. As well as, don't forget to set a realistic target you want to achieve from surveys. Don't say you want to earn $1,000, because in a lot of cases that's not going to be feasible and it's going to take a lot of time. To summarise, surveys are not a get-rich-quick scheme, but I personally feel they're definitely worth doing. I've made over £50,000 in the last 10 years from surveys. And with the right strategy, you can too. Consistency is key. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give a like, it'll be greatly appreciated. On screen right now is my 2 newest videos, and I'll catch you guys real soon.
I'm going to be rich and famous.